Oh man, I think Sunday is gonna be big. Hold on, Sunday is gonna be the day to start. Man, that's gonna be big. Sunday. All right, so Xbox plus Bethesda. Man, let's start off with Starfield. They're definitely gonna show Starfield some gameplay, something, right? That game is supposed to come out next year. I believe I said that game is most likely to come out spring next year. If you guys don't know what Starfield is, it's just another another game that's one of the pillars of Elder Scrolls and Fallout, but this time it's in space. So basically Mass Effect in a way, but in Bethesda formula. Anyone's wondering for Skyrim 2 or the Elder Scrolls 6 or whatever it's called, it's gonna be just like what CD Projekt Red did, like they did a couple of E3s ago. They showed Starfield and they made it publicly saying that Elder Scrolls is there, it's official, but we're not going to talk about Elder Scrolls until we finish Starfield first, right? We're going to do Starfield first, and then we'll talk about Elder Scrolls. We're going to work on it. The most obvious thing in this show is going to be Halo. I've heard and seen a lot of stuff from leaks from Reddit saying that Halo is definitely the new Halo definitely looks a lot better than it was last year, because last year, let's be honest, that Halo game looked cool, but then visually it was, man, it was bad. It was bad, and I haven't liked Halo since Halo 3. Like, I loved Halo 1, 2, and 3. Some people like Reach. I like the story of Reach. I did not like the new changes of Reach multiplayer. Halo 4, they did not need to make, I don't know, that's where it fell off for me. Like Halo 4, that's where it fell off. Halo 5 was okay, and if Halo fails, if this Halo Infinite game fails, I don't think they could recover from this, because I think that's it. They need to go out swinging with like a new Halo, because if this Halo fails, then I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear the next Halo or whatever, because then that means that it should have stopped at Halo 3. You know, there was no need to make a Halo 4 or Halo 5 or another sequel trilogy like Star Wars. There's no need to make that. I thought it ended perfectly on Halo 3. If this is their last chance, this is Halo's last chance of making Halo great again, and you know, it looks promising because the game is free, the game is cross-gen, the game is cross-play, and apparently the graphics, they took it seriously, and it's supposed to look better. So hopefully it's like a visual like trailer, I guess, just to show off all the stuff they changed. So I think this might be one of Xbox's biggest shows, because it's the 20th anniversary of when the original Xbox came out. So I'm pretty sure they're going to show a lot of stuff. Obviously, all their games are going to show. They're going to be like this. All their games that you're going to see today is going to be on Game Pass day one, because that's what they did last summer. Last summer at Xbox E3, they said all the games that you see today are coming to Game Pass day one, whether it was exclusive or a third-party game or was it an indie game. All those games that you see today, Game Pass day one. And so far from last year, everything is becoming true. Like a lot of indie games, a lot of third-party games, and some, EA games that were there day one at Game Pass, which was really cool. So I think they're gonna improve on that. Like, here's some world premieres, here's some like games that you haven't seen before day one. Forza's pretty cool, but for me, I like high-speed arcadey racing like Burnout, but there's a lot of Forza fans. I'm pretty sure they're going to show the next-gen Forza, because they teased it 2 years ago, and I believe it's a reboot, and apparently it's just next-gen only. There's no cross-gen. It's not made for the Xbox One. It's made for the Xbox Series. So they have to show gameplay of both Fable and Perfect Dark. They gotta show Fable and Perfect Dark, because we gotta see something. I'm done with these like cinematic trailers of teasers. I'm done with that. I want to see some Perfect Dark gameplay, which I think it's gonna be first person, just like the original. But I think it'll be interesting if it was like an Uncharted third person like narrative driven like action adventure. That would be pretty cool. Um, yeah, I would like to see more of Perfect Dark. What's the status on that game? I don't think that game's gonna come out this year, but I want to see where it's at right now. And Fable, I want to see where the hell is Fable? Like, where are we at with Fable? We did see a tease last year, and I just want to see more than a cinematic trailer. I want to see a gameplay. I want to see how far are we into, like, are we in the alpha state? Where are we? You know, that's where I want to know, because Fable is an interesting game. It's gonna be made by Turn 10, which is the same people that made Forza Horizon. Forza Horizon, a racing game, making Fable. You know how much pressure that is? You have to make an open world RPG, like a beloved open world RPG, and your catalog of your, you know, your resume is racing games, open world racing games, you know? So I don't know, that's really interesting. I want to see where they're gonna take it. Are they gonna take it seriously? Are they gonna take it like old school Fable, where it's like charming and there's some comedic moments? So I don't know. I just want to see where is that at. Both both Perfect Dark and Fable. I do want to see Banjo. I'm pretty sure everyone wants to see Banjo something. The reason why a lot of people want Banjo Kazooie, like the reason why we're not getting a new Banjo Kazooie is because I don't think anyone wants to take the helm. I think the only way to get people, or to get a team that would want to work on a Banjo game, is if Microsoft acquired the team that made Yooka-Laylee. Since Microsoft is on like a shopping spree of acquiring studios, since they just bought Bethesda, like with 7.5 million, I think they're gonna cool down a bit, because they are thinking of getting other studios along the way, which we'll get into later. But yeah, if you want a Banjo, I think you need to hire the original team that made Banjo. And I'm pretty sure the people that made the original Banjo are that team that worked Yooka-Laylee. I'm pretty sure. And that would be the perfect team to acquire. Like, that's just like small money. That's like pocket money to acquire them. I mean, acquiring a studio is it's not cheap. It's not cheap, but then just that small studio, I think that in terms of like the big businesses, I think that's like pocket money right there. That's easy. Speaking of acquiring studios, like, I would argue that Microsoft under their belt have the most variety of games under their belt compared to any other, you know, compared to Nintendo, compared to Sony and Nintendo. The Sony and Nintendo has their like distinct genres, right? You got Nintendo with the family stuff, you know, the legacy, Mario, Zelda, you know, all that legacy. Sony with the killer apps, with the narrative driven single player games and Japanese games and then somewhat fighting games. And Microsoft, there's a variety, like long list of like different genres. I'm not saying all of them are amazing, but some of them are good, some of them are like but then at least that's that variety of range of what Microsoft's catalog of games is going for. But I think what they're missing two things in their variety catalog, which will be a fighting game division. They did have one, it was Killer Instinct, but they don't have like a fighting game studio under their umbrella in the Microsoft family. It'd be cool if Microsoft like acquired Iron Galaxy. That would be really cool. But yeah, that's what they're missing. But what I'm alluding to is a Japanese studio. They don't have a Japanese studio because Microsoft is really bad at making Japanese games. They are really bad at, like, you know, having this relationship with Japan, and I understand because, you know, Japan does not want to deal with Xbox, right? They don't because no one in Japan plays an Xbox. But I don't think it's gonna happen this E3, but I believe they are going to acquire Sega next year. Maybe next year they acquire Sega. So I think this E3 they're gonna show some Sega exclusives in a way. Something like some, I don't know, PSO2 is coming out in a few days, I believe. They could do like a crossover of like, here's Master Chief in PSO2, Phantasy Star Online 2, and they could be like, oh, here's Sonic and some Microsoft, something like that. There's gonna be some relationship of them crossing over their IPs together, something like that. Because if you guys don't know, like Xbox is essentially a Sega Dreamcast console. Like after the Sega Dreamcast died, the original Xbox came out, and they had Sega Dreamcast games that were there. And not only that, like Microsoft helped build the Dreamcast, and people didn't know that. So essentially, Xbox is a Sega console. And then, I guess to celebrate Xbox 20th anniversary, they're gonna do some. Here's an Xbox controller. Here's Xbox this. You know, all this like 20th anniversary. They're gonna do some like accessories and limited edition controller, something like that, just to get people to buy. Like, oh, I gotta get that controller because it has a big 2-0 on it. I bet they're gonna do something like that. People want to say Gears of War. Like, no, I think we need to relax on Gears of War. I think we won't see Gear 6 in a long time because I'm starting to hit that fatigue of, you know, Gears of War stuff where it's like almost, it feels like a Gears of War game comes out every year, but technically it comes out every 2 years. So we need to slow down on the Gears of War. Everwild, there it is. When's that game coming out? It's been here. It's been like 3 E3s already, 3 years already, and no gameplay. It's just weird cinematics of just art. That's it. When's that game coming out? Oh, we need to see Psychonauts 2. That's right. I don't know much about Psychonauts. I gotta play that game, but it looks like they're trying to compete with Ratchet and Clank, like visual aesthetics wise. But I heard that game's gonna be really good. So yeah, Psychonauts 2. That's coming out somewhere in August, I believe. But how did I forget? How did I forget about Xbox's God of War? Ninja Theory, man. I forgot about Ninja Theory. Hellblade 2. We're going to see a Hellblade 2 gameplay. We're going to see it. We're going to see Hellblade 2 gameplay for sure. If you guys haven't played it, go play it. Because it's also on PlayStation as well. The Obsidian Entertainment. Ooh, we could see Avowed. We could see whatever Obsidian's working on with Avowed, like more than 5-second gameplay. Could see something. If you guys don't know what Avowed is, it's basically their take on Skyrim. Because Obsidian did make Fallout New Vegas, and I believe they're going into the Elder Scrolls side of medieval-looking wizards and knights and stuff. I don't know. But we did see Avowed 2 years ago. We might have to see something from Arcane. We gotta see something from them. It might be a Prey 2. Oh, Undead Labs. Undead Labs. We gotta see a State of Decay 3. I hope State of Decay is good, and I really hope, because my first State of Decay like game was number 2, and it was okay. It was really buggy, and I did not like the motion blur. It was like a 7 out of 10 for me. But I wish the third game, which they showed off like a few years ago, I really hope it's more of Left 4 Dead. Machine Games, the people that made Wolfenstein, they are making an Indiana Jones game. That's gonna be weird because Machine Games like to go full on, you know, bloody, gory, and just killing Nazis. And what a perfect game. I think they have a thing for killing Nazis. I don't know, but you know, what a perfect game for Indiana Jones, you know, just to work on. It did get leaked that Halo was gonna anchor off the stage for the show. So apparently what I saw is that they are going to release a Halo beta after the show, which I wish leaks didn't happen, because that would have been a crazy mic drop. Be like, whoa, after the show we could be playing the Halo beta, and it just takes me back in high school where you had to pre-order, or I guess buy Crackdown to play Halo 3, and everyone was on that Halo 3 beta, which was, man, what a crazy time to live.